Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us yet again for a wonderful series on Let's Get Loud. You'll be hearing the story of Gina Howard, New Beginnings with Gina. Gina is a woman who lived her life of faith even as a child, a woman who said that even though she didn't know God back then, she looked back on her life and she realized that all her steps were not only ordered by the Lord, but her steps were steps of faith. She took some leap of faith to get from where she was to where she is right now. Gina likes exploring new things, new ideas, and especially new cultures. She's a woman who's creative and surrounds herself with beauty and colors. She's a wife, mother, and believe it or not, when you see her, a grandmother. Gina is going to share parts of her transformational life journey that took her to where she is, and it's still unfolding a lot of things that are creating waves of new beginnings. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to welcome to Let's Get Loud, Mrs. Gina Howard. Hi, Gina.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Thank you so much for agreeing to share your story with not only me, but with the world on Let's Get Loud.
Yes.
We'll go back to the very beginning, Gina.
Yes.
Your life as a child. Tell us some about that.
Well, I was raised in Honduras in a neighborhood called, I was thinking back about it because the name is in Honduras, is in Spanish,
Right.
but it was La Gloria, which means the glory.
Oh.
And I was at the glory that is opposite to where I live. That was more, the opposite of glory. But I was raised by my great grandmother, and then later on I was adopted by my aunt.
Okay.
So I live a good couple of years well with my great grandmother. It was she was very strict, but at the same time she loved me very much.
Right.
And I find myself many times by myself, climbing trees, being at the top of the trees and climbing fences, and I find myself a lot alone.
Alone. You lived a lone life.
Yes, very lonely.
Why do you think that was?
I think I was trying to escape from things that I was surrounded with.
Like what?
Like not having my mother around too much and not having my father either. So I was wondering why I was being raised by my great grandmother and not the people that actually created me, that brought me into this world, So all of those things used to actually bother me. And also what also used to bother me, the fact that we was in a neighborhood that was middle class, but here we were poor.
Oh boy. And what does poor, or what did poor look like?
The poor is like sometimes you don't have anything to eat, sometimes you don't have the things you want to wear to go to school, or you don't have the other things that other kids have. So you will look at that and say, but why I'm not having those things? Why is this happening to me?
Okay. So you were with your grandmother to what age?
The age of 10, 11.
10, 11. And what happened at age 10 or 11?
My mother came and she took me. But I remember when she came by to get me, I begged my great grandmother and my aunt to do not leave me to go with her.
Why?
Because my mother was very dysfunctional.
Really? When you say dysfunctional? She
didn't have it together.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't have it together, and I wanted to be in a place that was safe. I didn't feel safe with her. I felt a lot of insecurities and a lot of fear when it came to being around her.
Yeah. So did you go with your mother?
Yes, I had to.
You had to. And what was that experience like?
In the beginning, like I went there with a lot of expectation of things happening to me.
Things like that.
And like for example, with my stepfather.
Okay.
Yeah, some stuff happened with him. And from there on, things just kept happening. And I kept wanted to go back with my grandmother,
Mhm.
but my mom said no. So I stayed there and endured all of that was happening with my stepfather.
Mhm. And did you bring that to your mom's attention?
No,
You didn't.
no,
So your mom didn't know what was happening.
no.
Okay. So how did you deal with what was happening?
My way of escaping was going, like I say, alone, being by myself, and kind of like hiding like a cocoon,
Mm-hmm.
just hide away, try to be invisible, basically. And just kept thinking that one day my life was going to be better, that one day I was going to have a better future. But things just kept happening. Like it started to increase, things started to get worse as I grew older.
And when you say worse, do you want to talk a little bit about that or?
Yes, when I got at the age of like 15,
Mhm.
I went on my own.
You went on your own at age 15.
Yes.
And what did living on your own at age 15 look like?
It was in the beginning, it was very adventurous because I love adventure.
Okay.
But then as I faced the reality of paying bills and being my own person, I got a lot of men took advantage.
Okay. So how did you sustain yourself for 15? How were you allowed to be on your own at 15? Is 15 a legal age in Honduras?
No, but when you don't have anyone to really look out for you, it become it become legal in the sense that I would find ways. I would very, how we call this, like trickery.
Mm.
I would trick people, and actually at that age I look even older. Like I would dress myself older, put on makeup older, to look older and be around certain environments, certain people, certain men.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that my stepfather was teaching me was to be like a con artist.
Really?
Yes, because I worked with him from I was 12 years old.
Okay, so you were working for a long time.
Yeah, I was working with him in his jewelry place. He owned a jewelry place, so I worked with him there.
Okay.
So right there, he was teaching me some things, trades of being out there in the world,
Okay.
but very dangerous things, like tricking people.
Mm.
And I learned that very well. So that's how I got along in life to be able to pay my bills and do things. I would use men. That's what I would
To
do.
pay your way.
Yeah.
Wow. So how did you get a place to live? Somebody rented you a place at
Yeah,
age 15?
it was a room. I got it rented. Yes.
And you paid your way.
Yeah, I pay my way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you feel, Gina, at age 15 to be responsible for yourself?
I felt free at first.
Right.
And then afterwards I felt trapped.
You felt trapped. You want to talk about how did that feel?
It's something like you feel like you're actually free, but you're not free because then you are forced to be an adult. You're forced to do things for yourself where you're in the capacity you're not able, right? Because I'm not educated fully. I haven't finished school or
You
anything.
didn't finish school?
No.
What happened there?
Well, I dropped out.
Was that by choice?
Yes.
Why?
I didn't really like school that much. I thought I was going to school like wasting time.
Why did you think so?
I just wanted to make money. I wanted to become something, I can't explain it, but I wanted to become something different than being in books. I saw opportunities out in the world more for me than in the system.
So you wanted to be an entrepreneur, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You wanted to own your own business. You wanted to make your own.
Yes, I wanted to be my own boss.
You wanted to be your own boss. So you opted to stop going to school. What age was that?
I stopped going at age 13.
13.
Yeah.
So then you were still working with your stepfather.
Yes.
Okay. And he didn't realize that you weren't going to school? How did you work around that?
Well, I used to go to school from in the morning till midday.
Oh, it was a shift system.
Yes, that's the time I go to school.
Okay.
So I used to go to him in the afternoon, so he will know.
He didn't know that you didn't go to school?
No, you and my mom. They thought I was going to school in the morning and from there go to him. But I wasn't going at all. I was going other places.
So where did you go?
To the beach, to the river. I used to hang out in those places.
Okay.
To
So
kill the
nobody
time.
from school contacted your mom? Nobody? To
This is
say that you went?
Honduras, honey.
Nobody.
No, nobody came.
Mm.
Remember, no mom, no dad didn't show up to the school for Vena.
Okay.
It was my aunt sometimes or family members,
Mm.
but it wasn't nobody really responsible for me.
Okay. So when you stopped showing up, nobody cared?
No.
Hmm. So let's go back then to you living on your own now. So here we are, you're being creative in your own way and trying to make money. Can you just share with us some of those adventures? How did you evolve into becoming your own boss?
Well, I started to, like I say, go with different guys, tricking them, and that's how I paid my bills. And then I started to go to the nightclubs,
Oh,
looking for an opportunity at that age
what
to,
opportunity?
to leave Honduras.
Oh, you wanted now to leave Honduras?
Yes,
Okay.
because I had explored a little bit of it, and I'm like, this is not for me.
Okay.
I want more.
You want more?
I want to go somewhere different.
Okay. And what did that seeking opportunity at a nightclub to leave Honduras look like?
Very dangerous.
You want to share a little bit on that?
Yeah, a couple of times I got one time I got kidnapped.
Okay, you want to share?
Yes, I got kidnapped by this guy. I was in the club, and when I was about to leave, he offered me a ride home. So I got in the car, and then he was staying not too far from where I live.
Okay.
So his house was first, and then mine's after. So I saw when he stopped by his house, he said, "We're just going in there to get something, and then I'm gonna go drop you."
Okay.
I said, "Okay." So I went into his house, and when I got there, he locked the door. He said, "You're not going anywhere."
Okay, and
And
how
I-
did you feel in that moment?
I felt he's joking. This got to be a joke.
Right.
And I said, "No, you have to let me go. I have to leave. I want to go home." And no, he kept me there the whole entire night. And he kept threatening to kill me with gun. He threatened me with knife. He threatened me with grenade. He wanted to kill me. He was torturing me the whole night. And I was like, "You have to let me go." And I kept begging him to let me go. In that moment, I felt like I was going to die.
Wow.
I was like, but I kept saying, "Is this it? Is this how it ends?" You know, like, I'm not willing to leave like this.
Right.
So morning came, and I said, "You know something? If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die screaming,
Okay.
because there's no point of being silent." So in the morning, when the morning came, I heard some people talking, because it was a complex of apartments.
Okay.
So I started to scream and scream. And then some people came, and they started knocking on his door, and they said, "Open this door. What's going on in there?"
Right.
So it was the landlord and her
Okay.
daughter. They came. And when that door was open, I ran. I didn't even have a chance to tell them what he was doing to me. I just ran and ran till I got home. I was so scared. I was like, "Oh my God, this guy was about to kill me."
Wow.
He said, "I've been watching you. I've been watching you for a long time." He said, "I just wanted to have you here with me." So, are you crazy? So that was one of the many experiences that I had encountering actually death.
Ooh, that's a deep one. So how did you end up then getting help, seeking help to get out?
Get out of Honduras. Well, I kept going to the nightclub because I thought that's where my opportunity was.
But why did you think so at a nightclub?
I don't know. I just kept going there. I just felt a strong feeling that that's where I'm going to find my opportunity. You know, I didn't know what it looked like, but I know that when I see it, I was going to know what it was.
Okay.
But I know, like, it's very strange. You're looking for something, you don't know what it looked like yet, but the minute you see it, you're going to recognize it. That's how I thought. And I remember my aunt, she was a Christian, and another aunt.
Right.
She was a Christian, and she kept saying, "Gina, why are you going to the clubs? Well, you need to stay home. It's dangerous out there."
Right.
And I was like, I have to go. You don't understand. There's no choice. I never had a choice. I had to. You know when you have to do something?
Okay.
That was me. That's where I was. So I have to go. I said, leave me alone. I remember coming home 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll find her on her knees praying for me. I'm saying, why is she praying? You see, that's not gonna work. Like those prayers ain't gonna work for me. And I'm saying I have to do this myself. So I kept going. And I remember one night something horrifying happened.
Right.
I went to the club. I met this guy because I always knew it was going to be to a guy.
Okay.
That's where I knew that part. So then I remember this night, this guy said to me, hi, how are you doing? And we met because I like meeting people.
Right.
And I met this guy and we was dancing and we were having a good time and he was very handsome, cute. I like cute guys. So after that, he said, come, he said, let's go to my hotel. He said, we're gonna have some more drinks and whatnot, and we're gonna have fun. And I said, okay, let's go. So I went with him there, and when we got there, he was like, oh, my friend them is here. He said, but we want to go have more. There wasn't from the mainland.
Okay.
It was from another place. Okay. So I said, oh yeah, bring them along. So it was 4 of them.
Right.
And we got in the car, because they had our car. We got in the car, we went driving. I said, but where are we going? And they're like, oh, we're gonna go find a club and we're gonna just, have fun and whatnot. But next thing I know, we end up in a motel.
Wow.
And I'm saying, what we doing here? And they're like, you know what we're doing here. Yeah, the motel is those driving ones, when you're driving. And I'm saying, I'm gonna do this. So the guy, I went in the back seat with 2 guys and 2 in the front.
Right.
And the guys in the back took out a gun and he started to beat me. He started to hit me in my face with a gun. And I'm saying, you're gonna have to kill me.
Wow.
Because this ain't happening tonight.
Okay.
Right? So I start to make noise and start to scream. I like to scream. So another person came. Like a little boy show up.
Right.
And he said, what's going on here? What are you guys doing to her? And he said, release her. I'm gonna call the police if you don't. And they released me. And I remember sitting in the motel next to this little boy. I don't know who he is.
Right.
He never spoke a word.
About how old do you think he was?
About 13, 14.
Okay.
And I'm saying to myself, what just happened here? So I waited till morning came, sitting with him.
Right.
And next thing I had to walk miles and miles and miles to get back home.
So you were still living on your own then?
Yes. No, with my aunt.
Oh, you had stopped living on your own and moved to
Yes.
your aunt, okay.
Because I got pregnant.
You got pregnant.
Yes.
Oh.
So then the job that I had, I couldn't do that no more.
Okay.
And I was forced to go stay with my aunt.
So during this episode, you already had the baby then?
No.
You were pregnant?
No.
Oh, okay. So I need to patch them. When did you? Yes.
Let me try to remember. Yes, I don't have the baby.
You had the baby.
Yes.
So you were still partying after the baby.
Yes.
So your aunt had the baby
Yes.
while you were out
Yes.
looking for an opportunity.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So let's back up then to being pregnant, because we missed that whole part.
Yes.
Yes. So talk about that.
Oh wow. I was about doing my own thing, still staying by myself.
Right.
Right. And it was this guy that we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
And I went out one night and I saw him and he's like, I like you, I always like you. And we got together but I didn't really like him like that.
Okay.
Like to be with him.
Yeah.
No. Because he didn't have what I want.
He wasn't cute enough?
He was cute, but he didn't have what I want.
Okay.
So I was like being with him, and then one night I remember having, intimacy with him. And this is funny because he said to me, you see this thing that I have here? This is something that like a contraceptive that I cannot knock you up or you will not be pregnant.
Right.
I was like, really? He said yes. So we have no protection.
Right.
That one time, and I got pregnant.
Wow.
And I despise him because of that. Because now you're interfering with what I'm about to do.
Right. With your
See?
opportunity.
Yes. you're messing with me now, because that wasn't my plans at all.
Okay.
And this guy, I was maybe 3 months old and he committed suicide. So then,
You were 3 months pregnant
yeah,
and he committed suicide.
yes.
How did you feel?
I felt like, what is going on here? Like things just kept getting worse and worse. And I'm saying, what else is going to happen now?
So that's when you moved back with your aunt.
Yes, because now I'm pregnant. This guy is dead. I have no way of making money. I am back to zero. And I remember looking for my mom.
Okay. And what happened?
For help.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no. She said, you made your bed, lay in it. And I left. She was with her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Josephine, she was the one that said, Gina, let's go there. Let's go to your mom.
Okay.
She can help you. I said, no, she won't. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And we went there, sure enough. She said, no, I'm not going to help you.
Okay.
So I went with my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was
then,
your aunt your mother's sister?
no, she was actually, I call her aunt because she had a child with my uncle,
Oh, okay. Okay.
you know. So, and then she took me in.
Yeah.
And that was difficult because she didn't have a job. I didn't have a job. How are we going to survive this one? But she was a believer. She was a Christian.
Okay.
She had great faith.
Great faith.
Yes, because to take in someone pregnant,
Mm.
unemployed, she's unemployed. How are we going to do this? She said, don't worry. We're going to make it work.
And how did that work out for you?
That was very difficult, very hard. I remember many times crying and wondering, why is this happening to me? I felt stuck. I felt completely stuck and saying, where, what's going to happen now for 9 months?
Right. And what happened for the 9 months? You were just stuck.
Stuck doing nothing.
And then you had the baby.
And then I had my child, my first child. I remember trying to get rid of her, trying to do abortion.
Wow.
So I remember going to the clinic.
This was after the father died?
Yes.
Okay.
Like months after. Not months after, like almost about, no, sorry. Let me fix this. It was before he died when I found that I was pregnant. Because remember, I didn't want to with him.
Right.
So I borrowed some money, went to the clinic, paid the clinic for the abortion, laid on the bed, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I'm saying, like I felt something move in me. And when I felt that, I jumped up on the clinic and I ran. And I said, I can't do this. And I hear the lady, hey, come back. Here's your money. You paid me. I was like, I don't even want that money. Wow. Because the money will remind me the intentions that I had.
Wow.
So I kept going and then I decided I'm going to have this child.
Okay.
Regardless of what happened. Regardless of what took place. Then after that, boom, this guy killed himself.
Wow.
I was like, can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? And it did get worse.
It got worse.
Oh, yeah.
So then you had the baby and your aunt helped you?
Yes.
Okay. And then after you had the baby, you started looking back for opportunities again.
Went back on the journey.
Went back on the journey.
I got back on track. What I call track.
What do you call track?
Yes.
And the track was to get out of Honduras.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so we're back here now when you said you got home after the other trauma.
Yes.
Traumatic event, and you got home. So what happened after that? Did you sit and just think about what you were doing?
No, because I had a goal. I had something that was driving me even more now. Was my child. So I had no time to think. I just had to keep going. I had to keep seeking until I find this what I was looking for. So I just get back up, tell no one that what happened. I never told anyone.
So you kept all of this to yourself?
Yes, because if I was to express it to my aunt when she was insist, no, see, this is what I've been telling you.
Right.
So that would make it would make it worse.
Mm.
So I was like, no, I have to continue going. I have to keep doing what I'm doing until I find this
What
opportunity that I'm
the
looking for.
opportunity that you don't know, but you will recognize when you see it.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us then, did you ever find that opportunity
Yes.
in the nightclub?
Yes.
Okay, you want to start sharing that, where you found that opportunity?
Yes. I was there that night as usual. It was the same club, you know.
Same club.
Kept going to the same place.
Okay.
And I went there that night and I used to see people, you know, like a radar, like looking, who is it? Who is it? And so this night, this guy walked up to me and he said, hey, what's up? What's going on?
Mm.
And we start chatting and he bought me a drink and
Mhm.
he said, what's your name? And I say, Gina McLaughlin.
Mm.
That was the name that I had.
Okay.
And he's like, wow, I'm a McLaughlin too. So we start talking about family trees. I think we're cousins. I said, all the McLaughlins are family. So we exchanged numbers.
Okay.
He said, well, we'll keep chatting. He said, for like a week went by
Mhm.
and he called me
Okay.
and he said, hey, Gina, what's up? I said, what's going on? He said, there's a guy down here in Honduras
Mhm.
looking for girls. He said, to take back to the Cayman Islands.
Mhm.
I said, really? He said, yeah, he's not too far from where you live.
So did you know anything about the Cayman Islands?
No,
You never heard about it?
no,
But it was an opportunity.
yes. And he said, there's this guy and you have to see him.
Okay.
And I'm saying, really? And then he said, he's in this hotel. It was literally 5 blocks from where I live.
Right.
And it was straight, no turning,
Right.
straight down the road.
Mm-hmm.
He said, he's in this hotel room, and you can go at this particular time.
Wow.
He's there interviewing girls.
Wow.
So I said to my aunt, I said, this guy said, I must go to this place and do this. And she's like, really?
Mm.
She said, you going to a hotel? I said, yes, I'm going. I said, I'm going alone too.
Okay.
So I got dressed, put on the best clothes I had,
Right.
and my makeup, and I went walking and I got there. And I remember when I got there, I saw this guy sitting in this hotel room with these girls. He's trying to speak Spanish to them. They're trying to speak English to him. And there I come, butting in, and I interpret for him.
So you're the bilingual who stepped into the room. All right. How old were you then, Gina?
I was 18.
18 by now. Okay, so when we get back, we're going to talk about the journey as an 18-year-old, being a translator, because that's what you became,
Yeah.
and how that took you on your journey out of Honduras,
yes,
and into the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
Gina, thank you so much for sharing the first part, the hard part of your life. And we'll get to hear more about how your journey continues when we come back.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard all too well the story of Gina and the unfolding of her life and the journey, the new beginnings that the journey she took to get her not only out of Honduras, but to get into the Cayman Islands, a land she never heard about before. So next time you hear from us, we will journey from Honduras to the Cayman Islands.
Let's get alive.